Meanwhile, Speaker Sonny Belmonte reiterated the Philippines' right to pursue its territorial claim. He also stressed that the Philippines should not be a victim of China's bullying. Here's Freddie Abando with the details.
Although Speaker Feliciano Belmonte has not joined the Philippine delegation for the presentation of its maritime case against China, House Defense Committee Chairman Congressman Rodolfo Biazon and Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Albi Chara were tasked to attend the week-long hearings of the Permanent Court on Arbitration at The Hague in the Netherlands. Belmonte was part of the Philippine contingent that filed its case in July of this year. It was then led by Foreign Affairs Secretary Alberto Del Rosario. Del Rosario is now at The Hague with Solicitor General Florin Hilbay. The Philippines is pushing for a ruling from the Permanent Arbitration Court on whether China's 9-line claim in the South China Sea complies with the United Nations Law on the Seas, or UNCLOS. The 9-line has expanded China's claim of sovereignty within the country's exclusive economic zone in the West Philippine Sea. China has refused to participate in the arbitration process.
Definitely, I'm very confident of that, no? Because as you can see, the very first issue, although China declined to be officially a party, no, all their ideas were turned over to certain parties there. Their side was ventilated as well, maybe not by people who are formally their lawyers, but people who had known their position, who had received their memos and so forth. So this next one, which is the crux of the situation, no? I believe that the tribunal is prepared to rule on the applicability of the UNCLOS on this question.
In our favor, sir.
Yeah. Well, if it's applied to us, to 100-mile economic zone and so forth, siyempre, pabor sa atin yun.
Speaker Belmonte stressed it's the right of the Philippines to argue its claim of islands being contested by China, which continues to build artificial islands in the disputed areas. Belmonte said that while the Philippines respect China's rights as a major economic and military power, the country should not be the victim of bullying. The Speaker said Manila has exhausted all avenues to resolve its dispute with the mainland.
We are all great admirers of China. China has affected the economy of the world for the good and so forth, including the economy of the Philippines. But at the same time, we are also we don't want people can run roughshod over us just because they are big and mighty, yes, and so forth. Fortunately, there is a rule of law, and there are agencies like the agencies of the UN which are ready to see to it that the rule of law is followed, and that is what we are banking on. No? People sometimes tell us, no, why don't you negotiate? No? So just to put it on the record, we have been trying to negotiating, actually changing views with China for a long time, for years. No? Pero in the case of China, ang kanilang stand always is we can talk about anything, but we cannot talk about sovereignty. So meaning to say, sovereignty is a non-negotiable matter. Kami ito, amin ito, ganun. How can you also agree to that?
Belmonte urged all presidential bets to disclose their position on the country's territorial dispute with China. Belmonte said it's a must for the people to be informed and educated what their policy will be to protect the national interest.
I'd like to see all of the candidates in this election say where they stand on that issue. Asan bang ang issue ni where do you stand on the issue of the West Philippine Sea? Tayo, we are also after our own interest. Kamukha nga sinasabi ni Pinoy, why can't we fish in our own waters? Yes, why are we being driven away from our own waters? No? And history is on our side. The maps that have cropped up, the oldest maps, include this in the maps of the Philippines.
For the People's Television Network, this is Freddie Abando reporting.